Well, I can't get in
Yeah.
Here's our big introduction. I can't squeeze through this way, so here we are.
Oh well.
Now you're going to be able to read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Oh yeah.
We're telling.
Yeah, right now, Mom.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Lulu's there.
Hi, Lulu. All right. So, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us.
I'm really cramped. I'm like really crammed in here. It's okay.
Sorry about that. So it's Scotchy talk. We're gonna we're having a little change of pace this evening, and we're gonna have a bourbon.
We're going bourbon.
This is Dickel
8-year
bourbon.
Yeah, I was intrigued by the Dickel name first.
And we're already started on the wrong track.
No. What? Because it rhymes with pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Duke McAfee and Sean Van Stratum told me about Dickel. Hey, don't shake it. Don't shake it. Don't shake it.
This is what with no bourbon in me? That's what it looks like when I hold
put
the
it
glass.
down. Let this, it's shaky. Stop. So,
Steady as surgeon.
yeah, okay. So,
Jesus, with the pour.
is that a big pour?
Yes.
Remember how drunk you got me last time we did this?
Oh.
And that was Lefroy. It was an expensive night. So interesting that we brought up the money already. So Dickel, I'm fascinated by this. I don't know much about much, as the three of you that are tuned in know.
Much about muches. The Shakespearean. Much about muches.
So this is very affordable. Like this is like $30-$35, somewhere in there. What did you say earlier? It's the bartenders?
This is like the bartender's choice. This is like being a comedian's comedian.
Yeah.
This is the bourbon's bourbon.
Yeah, it's the bourbon's bourbon.
It doesn't give a shit what you think about it. It's just there to be bourbon.
So this one, this was the fifth, number 5 in some bourbon thing.
Probably like Whiskey Advocate.
Duke was telling me it won, it was number 5, and it's by far the most affordable on the list. So number 5 is a huge deal. I read a little bit about Dickel, and I think it's funny because you Googled, and I Googled, and it's funny when you're driving or you're doing talk to text and you want to talk about Dickel, Google doesn't always understand Dickel.
No.
So it's a creative search.
Yeah, I tried to be responsible, not for my safety or anybody else's safety, but because I already have several driving with the phone in my hand tickets.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
For real?
Yeah, that's why every time you're like, can we text? I'm like, no.
I didn't know.
I'm driving. I cannot get another ticket.
How is it that I've never gotten?
I don't know. Just luck. Wow. Maybe they don't want to pull over a Tesla, but a Prius, they're like, well, fuck her.
They want to pull me over.
Oh.
Plus, I'm an asshole.
So I tried to do the responsible thing. And I did talk to text to Google, like, what is Dickel Bourbon known for? And it came out, what pickle order for? And that was
mine was a little less. Anyway.
It is smooth. Cheers.
Cheers. It is smooth, right? It's got a caramel thing going on. Oh, so that's another thing. Okay, so I read a little bit about Dickel. The company was actually founded in the early 1800s. And then it went into Prohibition. They were able to keep going 9 years longer than most because they figured out a way to have it legalized as medicinal. Then ultimately got shut down. Then it came back after Prohibition. Was it George Dickel?
George Dickel.
So George Dickel is into this whole idea of chilling it before it's filtered. Charcoal filtered. So he chills it, and he likes only doing this in cold weather months. And he believes, and what was it? It was
mellow as moonlight.
Mellow as moonlight
is
their catchphrase ever since just at the end of Prohibition. And I have to agree.
It is very
It's mellow as fucking moonlight, dude.
I'm not a big bourbon person generally, and there's no fire with this.
In a good way?
Yeah. Okay. Not like fire.
Oh, it's like not harsh.
It's not harsh.
Not at all.
It's not burny.
It's mellow as moonlight.
Yeah. Super fucking mellow.
Can you see if Dave Cassar's on it?
I can't.
I'm assuming
I can only
he's not.
see like the recent few people.
Well, shout out to Dave Kassar, our general contractor extraordinaire. I learned a little bit about him, a little more each year. And I found out that he is like really into bourbon. Like that is his, that is his preference. I went to give him a gift, I guess at the end of last year, and I was like, it was a big deal. And I was going to give him a nice gift and bourbon, and I can't remember what it was, but again, very affordable. Scotches get nutty.
Sweet. Scotches do get nutty. And, you know,
bourbons.
Scotch is a little bit of like it can be a classist thing. You know, there's not a lot of good, cheap Scotch.
Correct. Yep.
And there's this stigma against the blended Scotch, which only as I'm saying that now out loud sounds super racist.
Oh, wow. Let's skip over that.
Yeah.
Can we rewind that?
Forget anything that just happened. But yeah, I think there is like a classist thing. Maybe it's an import thing. Maybe it's an ageist thing. Jesus, is Scotch ageist and racist?
Maybe. Let's talk about the glasses.
You tell me about the glasses. They're your glasses.
Yeah, so Jason and Kim Moss.
Oh, yeah.
So we sold Kim's grandmother's house, and these came from there. This was like a big fucking deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she like delivered her grandmother's glasses
so nice.
as a gift here.
Wow.
I'm gonna cry a little.
I know. Well, you're supposed to have a little water to open it up.
Okay, hold on. Oh.
That was the house in Alhambra.
Mm-hmm.
There are cool houses there.
Is there something you want to talk about?
No, not at all.
Allie bought a house in Alhambra, you guys.
Yeah, just give them my personal address and the last 4 digits of my social.
What is the,
No.
Last time we did this, I asked her what her first car was, and then I realized tonight Kyman said that's like a security question, so don't ever ask anyone.
Yeah. So he's going to go through like birthdays of all the important people in my life, and then my home address.
Yeah. And
what elementary school I went to.
And your best friend's name.
Yeah, 2nd grade best friend's name.
Yeah.
Kindergarten teacher.
Is it appropriate to ask that question? Who do you use when they ask your best friend from childhood's name?
I'm not giving away fun password clues.
Oh, right.
No.
I was going to say mine, but yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, don't tell people that.
Okay.
I will tell you, you know her.
Yeah.
You've met her.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about her.
Mm-hmm. And there's a tie-in into Dahale Mayanende. How do you say it?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's pronounced no.
It's pronounced no. We're moving on.
Basically every language.
All right. So everyone say hi to Dickel. It's got a cool long neck to it too.
Oh, somebody loves Dickel. Is it? Oh, Megan. Megan loves Dickel. Sounds like.
Is that Megan Nichols?
Yeah. Megan.
What are you laughing at? What did I do?
This fucking rhymes. Megan Nichols loves Dickel. It's like a playground taunt.
Careful.
It's a sorry.
Careful.
Okay. Well.
Megan, I had to tell Megan the big lie yesterday when I called her. I was like, you told me the truth a week and a half ago, and then I had to lie.
Are we doing that?
Oh, I don't know. We switched offices. Blah, blah, blah. Move on. So, okay. What are we talking about? You have a list.
Let's see. What are we talking about?
You guys, does anybody watch Smartless, the podcast? I'm asking the phone because nobody can actually answer.
He just asked live a bunch of people if they watch a podcast.
They don't watch a podcast. Does anyone listen
Does anybody listen?
It's been a long day. You're going to have to go easy on me today.
So, aside from the few sips, when I arrived here, we were both absolutely dead sober, but I wouldn't have known.
No, I'm acting like
I'm not,
for sure. It's been a long few days.
I wasn't sure.
Okay, so Smartless, there's this cool thing where the 3 hosts are actors, and one brings in the guest, and the other 2 don't know who it's going to be. So it's a surprise every time they do it.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like that. And I have no idea what we're talking about tonight.
Never has any idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, like you're going to tell me what we're talking about.
Oh, every day is like Christmas morning. It's just a surprise.
It's like every minute is new and wonderful.
when I approach my inevitable descent into complete dementia, I am looking forward to like everything's new.
And
every
exciting.
day, everything is a surprise.
I know. So I have no idea what we're talking about tonight.
Happen.
All I knew was Dickel and chilled. He likes having it cooled before the charcoal filtration.
Should we have put ice in it?
I mean, you can, but it's really, I love it like this, room temperature. It's another thing I learned about the brown liquid this week. You can treat all of it, no.
What an elegant
You can treat all of it as wine, the same as wine. You can serve it at 55 degrees.
Right.
You can like have it in the wine cellar.
That makes sense.
But it doesn't go skunky if it's hot. So like all this stuff here.
Well, most of it comes from like a fairly humid,
as
hot,
long as the
swampy
top,
region.
Correct.
Region. Oh.
See?
It works.
Dickel works.
All right, so we're still in a dark place in the world. So I want to.
What? What do you mean? Everything's fine.
I want to keep up the new tradition of. We got 2 weeks between shows. I want you to tell me over the past 2 weeks something good that's happened to you.
Yeah.
And something that you've learned. And by the way, neither one of these things have to be real estate related, because how many of these people are actually here to listen to us talk about fucking contracts or whatever?
Yeah.
This is after hours. This is after dark. That was the table.
Allie just farted.
Shit.
You shit?
A little bit.
A little bit. I don't know. You're actually asking me to use my brain right now? Can you start?
I mean, no, I need you to use your brain a little bit.
Buddy.
What's a good...
Buddy, it's 8:12. My brain got maxed out at 6.
Okay. Our brains are tired. Our friend Dan just made a comment about a photo that we posted. So I wanted to talk about this later because I thought maybe it would be a little bit better if you were a little bit drunker.
Yeah.
But let's go there now because Dan brought it up. Thank you for that.
We got chastised for using that photo. More specifically, you got chastised for using that photo. The artiste did not want you using it yet.
Chastise I can handle.
Yeah, I know. What's the phrase? Beg for forgiveness?
Okay, ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's written above the entrance to every Catholic school I ever attended.
Yeah.
So we did a team photo shoot this week, and we did the actual thing. There was a lot of prep work that went into it. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff after it happens because you get like hundreds of photos, and we all have to stare at our own image and sort through things.
Selects.
So I want to talk to you about the interesting psychology of humans and photo shoots.
So every single, I don't know where you're going with this, but I will tell you, like, as the, like, whatever position I am here, everybody calls me, every single person on this team, with the exception of one. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is he on? He's going to be getting burned
I think
right
he's
now.
on, yeah.
Every single person on the team called me or texted me or made a comment in person about, like, I don't like how I look in the photos. The photos aren't as good as I thought they'd be. I can't eat. I don't have any. I look blah, 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 blah. But then...
Can I interject?
No,
I
because
can't.
every other person then makes a comment to me about how good the other
person's photos are.
Yeah, like, oh my God, every one of Allie's looks awesome. And Allie's like, I can't use any of mine.
I want to interject that the photographer is fucking incredible. He's amazing. These are up there with the best photos we've ever taken.
For sure.
But this is the psychology thing that I want to talk about, because when I first opened the folder of my photos,
you cried.
I was sitting across the desk from you, and I just burst into tears. And you were like, "Oh no, you're having a bad day. It's like, not the photos."
You're the third person to cry in front of me today.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing to everybody that everybody just bursts into tears whenever we see you?
In front of me. Everybody.
I think we just feel safe enough that we can
so
cry in front of you. Yeah, it'd be hard. People don't cry in front of me.
The big drum roll is, so everyone on the team's like, I don't like the way I look. Can they Photoshop my, forehead, blah, blah, blah. And then Ashmat.
Our sweet Ashmat.
Ashmat's like,
he's like, Can I pay extra to get every single one of these photos so that I can use them?
Oh my God.
Because I cannot pick which one is the best. They are all
Which,
the
by
best.
the way, like
And
honestly,
they are.
what a condescending dick because he's so fucking good looking. That's like Chris D'Atola literally saying, everyone's nice to me.
I can't say.
Do you remember that story? He goes, dude, everyone's like pissed off in the world.
Isn't
He goes,
everybody
I don't know.
nice to you all the
He goes,
time?
like, everywhere I go, people are nice to me. They open the doors. They're like so gentle. And I'm like, do you not know what you look like, you asshole? So anyway, Ashmat's like, oh, I think it's great. Every picture's great. And I'm like, yeah, fuck off.
Best photo shoot I've ever had.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm going to be 50 in 2 weeks. And let me tell you, looking at those pictures with high-res camera.
So if anybody is
No
on
bueno.
a dating app, look out for Ashmat because he has new photos and
Nude photos?
new
Oh, new.
photos, and they're really good professional photos, and he's going to use them mostly, I think, for that.
Yeah. I would think so.
But
He asked for a lot of them.
Yeah. So okay, everybody was very critical. We basically have 2 models that we convinced to be on the team just to like up the ratio of
I
attractiveness
mean,
in the photos.
for real, Ashmat and Allie, Isaac.
Yeah.
It's like a joke.
Right.
It's like a bad dream.
But other Allie,
Oh
not
my
me,
God.
not talking in third person. She's a fucking model, and she saw her photos, and her reaction was the same
No.
as us lowly,
Are you serious?
swarthy humans.
Every
Yeah,
picture of her is perfect.
She didn't like them. She had immediate criticisms about the way that she looked. I was
And then there's my
what the
Superfly-
fuck is wrong with
my
all of
Superfly
our
hot
brains?
wife. Who did the same exact thing.
Right.
Every single picture. She's
But
like,
she
these aren't
looks-
visible.
Yeah.
And she looks great in every
Both
one.
of them look like Gap models.
That's
They
ridiculous.
look like 90s Gap models in every photo.
Ashmat looks like, yeah, he's got like a whole fashion-y thing going on.
This may be more my generation than your generation, but
What are you saying?
You're older.
Oh, just like
The
that.
movie 10 Things I Hate About You, is that in the red? It's not in the register.
No. Ghostbusters is where I stopped watching movies. And not the one with Melissa McCarthy.
not the Lady Ghostbusters.
I've not seen Ghostbusters.
Hey, I love everybody involved in that.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, best
That's
cast
not-
ever.
Best cast ever.
Yeah, maybe not a great movie.
Not my Ghostbusters.
Yeah, my Ghostbusters.
My
was
Ghostbusters
with
are in
Van
the
Clement.
80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also not the second one with all the.
What do you
new-
see here? I don't know. A bunch of squiggly lines? I'm sorry. This is just not your day. I could quote like, that's a big Twinkie. Tell them about the Twinkie. Oh my God.
There is no Dana.
Holy Zool.
Should this just be like a drunk movie podcast? We don't even know what to do.
Well, you have an outline for
I do
stuff,
have an
for
outline.
real stuff.
Yeah, but we blew right past to things you learned and positive things. You just didn't want to do that.
Oh.
That was supposed to take up a chunk of time.
Well, I don't know. Can you go first? What have you learned?
What have I learned? I learned, and this is going to just reveal how much therapy I need and do not engage with, but I learned that it's okay to trust people.
Open up, be vulnerable.
No, it's...
Oh, no, don't do that.
No. Jesus Christ. Close it off.
Vulnerable?
Vulnerable, no. I learned that it's okay to not assume that people will react in the worst way possible.
Oh, okay.
Because I go into a lot of things bracing myself for the worst possible thing is gonna happen, and I'm gonna grind my teeth down to nubs until the bad thing happens. But I'm saying I learned that maybe people deserve more credit,
Yeah.
and everybody doesn't just hate us.
Yeah.
And by us, I mean me.
Do you wait to make the big difficult call? Or do you get that out of the way first?
It depends entirely on what the big difficult call is. If the big difficult call is something that is outside of me, that I know because I've said it out loud several times, this isn't like fucking Goodwill Hunting. This isn't my fault. This isn't my fault.
It's just
It's not my
You're
fault.
just a messenger.
I'm the messenger.
Yeah.
If I'm the messenger and shit's not my fault, I have no problem making the big difficult call
But
first.
if you mess something up,
If I'm the one who fucked
That's
up,
a
or
hard
if it's
one.
related
That's a hard
to like me personally, like you have a legitimate reason why you're mad at me as a person, no, that's the last call I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What do you do?
Well, have you heard me say eat the frog?
Yeah, I think about eat the frog all the time.
Yeah, so we talk about that as a family.
Do you guys know what eat the frog is?
Lulu, are you there? I think she was there earlier. It's already 11 something in Boston. Yeah, so our good friends Chris and Oscar use the phrase eat the frog. They taught it to me a long time ago. But it's basically like, just eat the frog. Just get the first thing out of the way. Make it the most difficult one. Like you have that phone call you need to make. If you put it off, it's going to like hurt your whole day.
Right.
Because
you have the anxiety
you're just
of
postponing
that
the
thing
inevitable.
all day.
The dark clouds hanging over you. It's sunny and shiny for everybody, except it's raining on you everywhere you go. Just eat the fucking frog. Just get up, have a cup of coffee, make the call.
Yeah.
And I think most of the time it doesn't go quite as badly as you think it will.
Right.
Today I had a very tough, very, very difficult first kind of thing that I needed to do. And I specifically scheduled it for first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was tough.
Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. Maybe worse.
Yeah. So sometimes it doesn't go exactly.
Yeah, but then the rest of the day, it's done.
I think the trick is to not let that color the way you approach the next thing.
You gotta let it go,
Yeah. Fucking breathe and reboot.
Mm-hmm. Breathe and reboot. Drink the Dickel. So you learned that.
I learned that.
Don't be vulnerable.
Yeah, don't be vulnerable. Okay. It's okay to trust people, but it's also okay to not trust people.
That's what you learned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really like one step forward, one step back. I'm not much of a learner.
Isn't it
I know what it is.
one step back, two steps forward?
It's one step forward, two steps back.
It is.
Yeah.
That seems like you're going backwards.
Yeah, that's the point of the phrasing. It's like when you kind of, you think you made progress, but you actually fucked it up.
Sure. I thought I turned the ice maker off.
That's okay. So is there anything that you learned over the past couple of weeks in terms of real estate stuff?
I don't want to get, yeah, of course. I mean, always. And I don't want to get too far into a topic that we don't really need to get into. But we made a change and are out on our own now. And it was interesting because you dread, like, as exciting as that is, there were a few clients where I was like, how's this going to be perceived? How's it going to be received? Are they going to be like, dude, you're a week away from listing my house and now you're telling me it's a different brokerage or like whatever. And I ate the frog and I just went through my list and called everybody like back to back to back to back. And literally it was just like the most beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about trusting people.
Fucking people were just like, dude, I don't give a fuck where you work. Like, we're so stoked for you. And that was just such a huge relief. I mean, I know how I feel about it, but you never know how a client's going to feel or whatever. But that was great and, sunny skies. So I learned that again.
I had an interesting thing where I was having obviously the same conversations with clients. Mm-hmm. And you think that you like, you know your clients fairly well, especially if they're like friends/clients, and you think you know what to expect of them, but always expect the unexpected out of people. And there's a client who I thought would have like very mild to no reaction, and it became like Papa Bear reaction, like very protective and concerned, and making sure that
in a sweet way,
in the
nurturing way.
Like a way so far beyond any expectations. So lovely. Sweet and nurturing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So that went well.
Yeah.
And what was the second part of that question? We were supposed to find something we learned and...
Something good that happened to you this week.
Something good.
Or, the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We can also skip that.
A lot of good. There's been a lot of good.
Yeah. So we do still want this to have something to do with real estate and be educational in some way.
I have something to contribute. Real estate related.
Please.
Now?
Your house.
Okay. Today, a little burpee.
Oh, damn it.
It's the Dickel. Dickel.
No, it's not.
Travis
It's the fucking
Bickle.
LaCroix.
Not, oh yeah, it is the
Yeah, you're filled with bubbles
I
and
had
then you're just
18 of
pouring
those,
bourbon on top of
That's
it.
true, yeah. Brought to you by Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all talking about inflation and just everything that's happening in the market, but not only the real estate market, just kind of like global economy and everything that's happening. I thought this was an interesting one today. So buyers, let's say buyers specifically for this conversation, difficult time, right?
Sure.
My ceiling is ... Everybody's ceiling is different. 800,000, 1 million to 3 million, for whatever. Everybody's got a ceiling. And then are you able to go a little higher than that ceiling? Like, I don't know, right? Everybody's story is a little different. Sometimes it's like, look, my ceiling's 125, but like, if it's the perfect house and the perfect situation, we can stretch a little bit. And you're like, okay, obviously we don't want to do that, but okay. Well, today, a wiser person than myself informed me of the information coming from the economists at the top, that real estate is set to go up 16% in the next 12 months, and then 8% in the next 12 months after that. So what that means to me is, let's use that 125 or 13 as an example.
Right.
It's like big picture thinking. You're like, hey, look, good news, bad news, we're in the running, but it's a little bit higher than we thought, and you might need to stretch. And it's like, that extra 20 grand, like I know my lender says I can do it, but yada, yada, yada. And it's like a very, delicate and intense situation. But then if you look big picture and you go, okay, but in 12 months from now, that purchase is going to be worth 18% more than you bought it for.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, it's going to go up another 8%.
Yeah.
So that $20,000 or $30,000 that you reached for, which by the way, on a loan, it's like $30 a month or whatever, but it's an interesting thing. Like I'm trying to find the silver lining in this market and trying to, really understand why are we doing this? Why are buyers pushing as hard as they push, and is it worth it? And it's like,
because it's absolutely still a good investment.
Where else is your money going to go?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the market, not the real estate market, the other market's not doing so well right now. It's like real estate has proven historically to be a great place to put your money. It's a little difficult right now. But anyway, that 18% plus 8%, that's like, that to me was a very positive way to kind of look at the next 2 years of real estate.
Yeah. So hang in there.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Hang in there.
You can do it.
Drink the Dickel.
We believe in you.
Yeah. Now, I can't read any of that.
You can't read any of that?
But,
somebody says...
But does anyone have any questions? I can't see anything.
No, there's no question.
Yeah.
If any of you want to ask questions, you can ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a thing that I want to talk about.
Yes.
That I feel like is valuable information. So we all know heavy sellers market. Everybody asks the question when somebody's selling their house, where are you going? Because if you're selling and buying in the same area, it's a little tough to be a buyer. So it's very popular for people to sell here and maybe they go somewhere else.
Cash out?
So if we're talking about relocation situations, a lot of people do relocate because they're taking advantage of like a new job somewhere else. So I want to break down.
Oh wow, are we doing this?
I want to break down, and this is
a big one.
A vague.
I didn't know we were doing this.
Surprise! This is meant to be a vague conversation.
And we won't use names.
No, we can't use names. No names. A vague conversation about what a relocation company is, what it is that they offer to you as the seller, and what the actual implications are of working with a relocation company to get rid of your current house and buy a new house.
It's amazing from the seller's perspective. you just win on every level. You're being courted to take a new job, and they're like, we're gonna get our relo company involved, and we're gonna pay for your move, and we're gonna handle the real estate, and you're gonna get X amount of % back, and like
everything is taken care of.
Yeah, like
it's
we're
like
Disney, or we're like
glove.
whoever. Yeah, like whoever big company. Like
you don't have to worry about anything. Are you your own brokerage now?
Kinda, yeah.
We'll get into that later. We're talking about relocation stuff, Hansel.
But yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So they make it seem like they're just going to handle everything, and they're going to take care of you and give you a fantastic deal.
Pay for your closing costs. Do this.
They're going to cover all your closing costs. Yeah. Everything is going to be easy. So the reality,
the deep little secret,
that
we have to sign. We have to sign like an NDA.
Every agent involved in this has to sign an NDA. So we're not talking about a specific company, but this is how all of these companies work.
So why the seller is given a lot of money back and treated that way is because...
Well, wait, let's...
I was going to do the drum roll.
We line up I did a shitty table drum roll in front of a drummer. Okay. The timeline is, if you're selling with a relocation company and then buying, you sell your place to the company, and you are removed from everything.
The relo company becomes the new seller.
The relo company becomes the new seller, specifically so that you don't know what is actually happening. They want to get you away from it. They want to separate you from the agent that you've picked so that they can handle the whole situation.
Which, by the way, they try and pick. Right.
Yeah.
That's a whole other.
They want to use the agent that they want to use because that agent has already signed in blood.
Yeah.
One, that they will never disclose the details of any particular transaction.
And two, they're
very okay with
giving back a ton.
Every penny that you save, every closing cost that they're covering, everything your agent is paying for. That's why they get in bed with all of these lower level agents who are okay with giving away about half.
It's about half.
About half. But it's the exact same amount of work, and actually,
it's a lot more work.
It's way, way, way more work.
Yeah.
Because when they take you need more to drink.
Now we're talking about relo companies. I'm going in.
Well, when they take you as the client out of the equation, they are making sure that they insert their whole system, which does not function the way the rest of the market functions. So the timeline is completely different. They take way longer. They choose all of the vendors, and it's the same thing of whoever they're choosing are people who have like relegated themselves to doing a bunch of sad deals with these people.
Look at the irony of this right now. That's hilarious.
I'm not picking that up.
It's a really interesting thing. If anybody, most people on this will be like, I don't care. I don't even know what you're talking about. But if anybody ever does want to like talk reload, it's an interesting thing. Like the one we just did. First of all, it worked, but it was a complete shit show, and the client was very disenchanted with many things that were happening. But we were never allowed to tell her why they were happening. We just had to be like, I'm so sorry, we'll try and make that better. But the reality is like...
We were cut off from any kind of control over how any system worked.
It's like changing lanes to a lane you've never been in and you're not comfortable with, and then it's just stupid. And then you give half your money away. It's fantastic.
Right. So, I mean, it all goes back to the like, if somebody's selling you something that seems way too good to be true, like this deal where you're just going to come out fully on top and there's going to be no issues with anything.
Yeah,
if it's too good to be true, it is.
Yeah. I can hear my dad's voice. Every time someone says if it's too good to be true, if it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true, I can literally like hear my dad's voice. He was right. Yeah. But anyway, reload, that's a whole can of shit. So did you ever end up telling the person we just worked with how that went? Just let it go? Yeah.
It's of no consequence.
Yeah. I can dig it.
But, a parable, if you're making decisions in the future, maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not worth it on our side.
No, I don't think that it's worth it for the client either because, especially if you're a seller right now, you're going to do fine. You're going to do well. You're going to do really well. So if you're already going to do really well, why would you inject all of the anxiety and the unknowing and the bureaucracy and the lack of control when you could actually just do well and be happy?
What do all the waves mean?
Just people saying hello.
Just peace, like peace?
Yeah, just hellos.
All right, so relo sucks. That's the moral of that story. Anything else? If you guys have questions, let us know because if not,
yeah, we're trying to keep these brief
I don't want to be the
gonna...
dude who just sits around and talks the whole fucking time about nothing.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
I feel bad that people are like just joining right now, and we're gonna kind of wrap it up. I think.
So knowing that I'm like the least techie of all time, this is a series.
It's a series. The other ones are everything's recorded.
So it's all recorded and saved.
Sassy.
What did he say?
Are you your own brokerage now?
Yes. So we are Clark Living has gone out there, and we are Clark Living. Cheers.
And if they're, why is your glass so full?
I just did another one.
I was drinking.
No, when we started talking about reload companies, I poured another big pour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any questions about any of that afterward? If you want to send a DM, happy to talk about it.
Ansem, your question has been answered, pal. Anything else in there? Someone waved.
He's lying. He hasn't been drinking. Are you talking in third person?
Yeah, I think Ansem, he's lying. He hasn't been drinking.
He's fucked up right now.
He's drunk.
I think what you guys should do, if you regularly watch these things, you should make this into your own drinking game and pick up on any of our weird little tics. Like if Steve burps, you take a drink.
That's a lot of drinks.
If I say something self-deprecating, you take a drink. And you'll probably last about 9 minutes.
Yeah. How long can Steve go without burping or talking about his children? Not long.
Very brief.
Yeah.
I'm drinking every time that Steve does. Very sober over here. Oh,
okay.
That's a challenge.
Fuck you. Watch this, pal.
Down the hatch. See, I don't...
Woo!
I don't live here, so I can't drink as much as he...
What a nice guest room.
Yeah, I gotta go home.
Okay. Because of Danny. Because you live with a guy.
I live with this guy, married him.
Can you tell him about the...
No.
Is he watching this?
No.
So you can tell stories about him.
No.
He'll never
know. Honey, no. It's recorded.
Okay.
No. I'm a nice lady.
Okay.
All right. Well, since you basically drained that glass under peer pressure from Anselm, we're going to do a little top off and a send off. And we're going to get going. A little more.
Wait, more?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a big drive tomorrow.
Do you? Where are you driving?
Going to San Diego.
Shit. Okay. Signing off with the Dickel. I think we're both you gotta empty your glass if we're gonna satisfy Anselm.
Third?
Finish your glass. You can do it.
Yeah, but the peer pressure thing wigs me out. Oh, God.
Bye, Anselm.
It's like mellow as moonlight.
Hire us!